So today we will be starting the list concept. How to use the list, what are the different methods what we have in the list, and all those data we'll be looking at. Let me start here. List. When I say list is a collection of similar elements. List is a collection of similar elements where list is a collection of similar elements where the memory size can grow. The size of the list can grow or reduce dynamically based on runtime requirement. Where the size of the list can grow or reduce dynamically at the runtime of the program. Then list preserves insertion order. List preserves the insertion order. The next point, list allows duplicate values. List allows the duplicate values and elements in the list are referred using index value. So list is a collection of similar elements where size of the list can grow or reduce dynamically based on runtime requirement. List will preserve the insertion order, which means the order in which you have inserted the elements. In the same order, elements will be saved. List allows duplicate values. We can insert duplicate values into a list. Then elements in the list are referred using index values. If you want to declare a list, it will be in the form of list of data type list. It will be in the form of list of data type listing. So let us create some list here, where we have list of integer ages, list of string names, we have a list of account. This is how we create a list. When you define this list variable, contains null in the above context. So in this context, age, name, salaries, ACCs, all of them contain null as we have not assigned any values. Let us quickly see that what I am trying to convey. So let me Let me go to the debug log. I was trying to create a reference variable for a list of integer ages. When you try to print the value, system.debug, I have created the variable here. Let me execute and see what is stored in the age. We have null here. As we have not yet initialized the variable, we have only created a reference variable for a list. We have not initialized the values. So, how do you initialize the values? Memory for initializing the memory for list. If you want to initialize the memory for a list, we will declare in the form of list of integer ages equal to new list of integer. So taken list of string names equal to new list of. We have only initialized the memory. No values are stored in this memory. We are just trying to initialize the memory for the list reference variable. So I have created list of integer ages equal to new list of integer. Let me check out the same context in the debug. So here I am going with the list of string names equal to stop. In this context, what does it mean? We allocated a memory for it, but no values are stored in the memory. The second context, we have allocated the memory, but no values are saved in it. Execute. We have here names. It is not throwing any null value. As the memory is allocated, it is not null. Some memory reference is stored in that, but in that reference, no values are stored. So what we have done here, we have created a list of elements here. We created a list, but no elements are stored in the list. Now the question is, how do you allocate the values statically? Static allocation of values in a list. In that context, I am taking a list of integer ages equal to new list of integer. We are assigning the values statically. The same way, I am taking a list of string names equal to new list of string. At the time of creating the variable itself, we are assigning the values for the list. At the time of creating a reference variable for a list, we are assigning the values. When you assign the values, internally they will be stored in this format. Internally, they are stored in this format. Order of insertion is 10, 20, 30. They will have index values 0, 1, 2. So elements in the list are internally stored based on index values. And I told elements in the list will be stored in the insertion order. As we are inserting 10 first, first element is 10, second element is 20, third element is 30. Insertion order is preserved. Here, if you are going with this list of names, so first name is Sham, right. In this context, we have static allocation of values. Elements in the list are stored in the same order in which we are inserting, and elements in the list are referred with the index value. Then let us go with the dynamic allocation. If you want to allocate the values dynamically for a list, then it's the case we use in this format. Something like list of integer age is equal to new list of integer. So we'll insert dynamically by using the methods like add. So assigning the values at the runtime. Assigning the values at the runtime, we call it as dynamic allocation. Assigning the values at the runtime is called as dynamic allocation. Okay, so this is how we create list. So list is a collection of similar elements where where list allows insertion order, list allows duplicate value, and insertion order of the elements is preserved. The size of the list can grow or decrease based on runtime requirement. So we have seen how to create a variables. If you want to create a list, we have seen list of data type equal to the variable name. List of data type, the corresponding variable name. Now, once we created this list, we have seen static allocation of values. If you are trying to assign the values at the time of creating a variable, then we call them as static allocation of values. So at the time of creating a list, we have assigned the values of 10, 20, 30. Similarly, we have dynamic allocation of values. At the runtime of the program, if you are assigning the values, we are going to call them as dynamic allocation of values. To perform this dynamic operation, Salesforce has provided some predefined methods on list. Methods in the list class. So let me give you an idea about this methods in the list class. First method is add element. This method is used to insert new element into the list. This method is used to insert new element into the list. So let me give an example. Open the console. So we are going with the creation of list. List of integer equal to new list of. I have created a list. In the list, we are trying to add new elements. We have 10, we have created list added 3 elements called 10, 20, 30. So let me print this list. So we are trying to display the value of ages here. Let us see what we are going to get. So we are getting the values of 10, 20, 30. So what this method is doing, it is inserting the elements into the list. Add is a method which is used to insert the values into the list. In case if you want to insert a new values into the list, we use a method called add. So once you add it, internally they will be saved in this format. Internally they will be saved in the form of 10, 20, 30. With the index values 0, 1, 2. So when I try to print the values, we are going to get the values of 10, 20, 30. The next we have one more method, add index comma element. This method is used to insert new element at a given position. So this is by default adding the element at the last position. When you say index comma element, it is going to add the element at a given position. So let me take this. We have ages dot add 1 comma 40. Ages dot add 0 comma 50. If it is the case, this is what we are trying to insert. If you are trying to insert these values, let us see how they are displayed. So let us try to understand this. I have inserted 10, 20, 30. When you inserted 10, 20, 30, internally they are in this format. So with the index values 0, 1. So when you said ages dot add 10, ages dot add 40 at first position. Then what happens here? At 0 position, the same 10 will be there. At first position, 40 is inserted. As the 40 is inserted here, rest of the elements move towards the right. So add 1 comma 40. This will insert the element at the given index. Right. Next we have ages dot add 50. When you say ages dot add 50, then we are going to get 50 at which position? 0 position. So at 0 position, 50 is inserted. So the rest of the elements are moved towards the right.
But Satish, there 40 was in the first position, right? So it's 50, 40, 10, 20, 30, I believe. Isn't it?
It's already 10, 40, 20, 30. The position is fixed one. Then later you have added. So what happened? 10 will move on to the 40 position, 40 will move on to the right position. It's just like a queue near the cinema theater. If somebody comes and occupy the first position, automatically what happens? All the people will be moved backward, right? So if I'm getting some element at 0 position, element at 0 will,
Right, but if we have mentioned the position of 40 is first, then will it not be stuck in first position? It will also move in right side.
yes, exactly. Now at the time of inserting 40, I told it should be on first position. Now we already inserted the element at first position, right? That is completed. That is the end of the operation. As he told, ages dot add 1 comma 40. You are asking me to insert the 40 at first position. You have inserted. That is the end of the operation. Later on, I was making some changes by adding 50 at 0 position. Once you have inserted 40 at the first position, my operation is closed. This is the structure what I got. On what you want to do is up to your choice. Later I told, now based on the available structure, add 50 at 0 position. Based on the available structure, add 50 at 0 position. Now this is the structure what we have. So 50 is inserted here. So 10 will move to the right, 40 will move to the right, 20 will move to the right, and 30. So that's how we got the structure now. Am I clear? Am I clear? Right. Everybody is clarified?
Um, I have a quick question.
Yes, sir.
कुछ सर सिखाने में भी होता है पर इस दर्द से बड़ा एक्सपर्ट है ना
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Sir, can we use any of these components or methods at one given time? So let's say if I've got ages.add, like in continuation with what Renu has asked, when she's, what she was referring to was when we have given a position to 40, and then at the same time we are also giving a position to 50, and then by giving it so, it is actually moving the 40 to the second place. So can we use this method, both the methods at any given time, or how does it normally work?
See, basically, when you write any program, how do they execute?
Yeah.
I have given A equal to 50. A equal to 50.
Okay.
Now, doesn't the value of A change because you give A equal to 10?
Doesn't the value of A change? Yeah.
A equal to 10, right? And later on I
Yeah.
give equal to A equal to 50. Now, will the
Oh, okay.
value of A will not change?
Yes.
See,
Yep. Okay.
now
Okay. So that is finished. Okay.
this
Makes
is
sense.
this is A equal to 10. It's completed.
Yep.
Then what
Okay.
is the current value? A equal to 10. That you replace with
Okay.
50. Then the value
Okay.
of A is 10. Then it's replaced with
Yes.
100. Okay.
Yes.
Got
Okay.
it?
So once the result is out, once the action is complete,
That's
that
it.
pretty much wipes out the previous requirement. Okay. All right, sir. Thank you.
Now, so let us go to the next. This is how we have seen. So let us go back, execute the same, and see how the output will be given. The same program we are trying to execute, the same snippet of the code. What we have here? 50, 10, 40, 20, 30. Right? The same code what we got here now. So once that statement is closed, that's the end of the issue. Right? So the output would be in the form of 50, 10, 40, 20, and 30. Let us go to the next. Now when you are going to the next one, we have add all. we are trying to add list of elements or a set of elements at a time. In the above context, we are only adding one element at a time. Now what we need, we want to add group of elements at a time. This method is used, add group of elements at a time to a list. So let me give it here. I was taking list of account ACCs. Let me take activity variables. List of integer ages equal to list of integer. So to this I told ages dot add 10, ages dot add 20. What does that mean? Right now in the ages we have the value of 10 and 20. Right now we have the values of ages as 10 and 20 with the index value 0 and 1. This is my list of ages. Right. Now what I have done here, I am creating one more list of integer values equal to new list of integer. I was giving some static values here. Right. So I have taken it, which means the values will be saved in this format. Right now we have 30 and 40. So these are the elements what we have in the list of values. So what I was trying to do now, I am doing ages dot add all values. When I say ages dot add all values, all the elements in the values will be added to list ages. So all the elements whatever you find in the values, they are added to the ages. So which means they would be represented to you in the form of 10, 30, this all. So ages already have 10 and 20. So after 10 and 20, add the values ages dot add all values. So whatever the elements we have in the values list, they are already here. Any query on this? Any query? Adding a group of elements to a list. So let me take a debug log. Let us take the anonymous window, try to add a couple of lists here. So list of integer values equal to new list of integer so now what we are doing ages dot add all. So what we have done, ages dot add all values. We are trying to print the value of ages here. So we have 10, 20, 10, 20. Probably I have might add the same elements twice. So let me take a different set so that we follow. Well, I said 30 and 40. we have now 10, 20, 30, 40. This is the set of values what we received here. If I give debug ages, we are going to get values of 10, 20, 30. This is how we got the values. Then let us go to the next one. We want to say get off index. We want to know get off index. So what is this get off index? This method is used to fetch the element, This method is used to fetch the elements which is at given index. So in the context, I am taking list of integer. When I was taking list of integer here with some values, ages dot add 10 here, ages dot add 20, ages dot add 30. Okay, fine. Let me take this some more. Ages dot add 40. So I have taken 4 elements. This is represented in the form of 10, 20, 30, 40. Elements are stored internally in this order with the index values 0, 1. This is how the elements are stored internally. In this context, I am saying which elements are stored in the list? 10 is what? Integer. As the list is an integer, the list of integer, the elements which are stored in the list are also integer values. So when I say integer a equal to ages dot get off 1, ages dot get off 1, it is going to return you the element which is at the first position. It is going to return you the element which is at first position. Similarly, I'm going to say integer b equal to ages dot get off. It is going to return you element at third position. So when I say ages dot get off 1, which element is at first position? 20. So what we are going to get? Return 20. When I say 3, at third position what we have? 40. This will return 40. Go back to this. Let me run it and show you. So what we have here. What we are going to do? Equal to ages dot get off 1. Really, teacher b equal to ages dot get off. Let me print these values. Debug element at first position a dot debug element at third position. So let me execute this, view the output and find out the values. So in this context, what we have 20 and 40. That's what I represented here. The first position is 20 and the third position is 40. So what is the use of this get method? Get method is used to fetch the element which is available at the given index value. If we give an index, at that particular index, what is the value we have, that is fetched. Then we have next method as remove index. When you say remove index, this method is used remove the element which is at given index. This method is used to remove the element which is at given index. So let me quickly run a sample code here and understand what exactly the list is returning. So I have the values here. List of integer, age is equal to new integer. I have 10, 20, 30, 40. In this context, I am saying ages dot remove 1, ages dot remove. This is what I get. If I am running this code, what will be my output? So what I told, in case if you are running this code, what is the code we have here? List of integers, age dot add 10, 20, 30, 40. So if you go with this structure, what are the elements we have here? You have 10, 20, 30. This is how we have. What are the elements we have? 0, 1, 2. This is the structure what we have. When you have this structure, what I told, ages dot remove 1. So what will be happen? What will happen? Element which is at the first position is removed. What is there at the first position? 20 is deleted. When 20 is deleted, we are going to have 10, 30, 40. What is the index values of this? Now we have new index values 0, 1. So whenever I say ages dot remove 2, whenever I say ages dot remove 2, element at the second position is deleted. Which element is at second position? 40. So the element at the second position is deleted. In that context, we are going to have 10, right. So this is the use of the remove index method. What is the use of remove index? This is going to delete the element which is at given index. Let us go to this, run this code, check out what we are getting. We are not given the debug here actually. We are not given the debug. Let me give two good debugs here. After removing the second element, execute. what are the values we have here? 10, 30, 40, 10, 10, 30, 40 and 10, 30, right? So this is the concept of remove index. Then we have next concept here. We have a method called equals. Equals list. It verifies whether the elements in the list are the elements in the list on which you call this method and the elements what you provided both have the list on which we called and the list what we provided both have the same elements or not. So let me give it simple way. I'm taking here integer ages. So have ages dot add and add. Similarly, I'm creating one more list here. Integer 1 equal to new list of so 1 dot add, then 1 dot add. So I have taken two lists here. List ages, list 1. So what I'm doing here is ages dot equals 1. So what I want to do is I want to compare whether the elements in the ages are the one or both are same or not. So in this context, let us look at this. In the ages what we have? The ages we have 10, 20. Similarly, in the ones what we have? 10. So elements in the both the list are same as well as order in which the elements are there, they are also same. It is not only elements, the order in which they are there, order in which the elements are present are also same. So we have 0, 1. So when I say ages dot equals 1, it is going to give me true value here. So if I'm giving here it is going to give me similarly I'm going to take the same list, but now I'm going to modify a bit, small changes. So what I'm going to do, instead of 20, instead of 10 and 20, I'm going to make 20 and 10. So elements are same, but the order of insertion is not same. The order of elements is not same, but the elements are same. This is how we have stored. So when elements are same but their index values are not same, the order in which they are available is not same. The order in which they are available are not same. So in this case, it is going to give you false. So when you compare two lists, it's not only the elements what you have to compare, it is also their order which you have to compare. They say ages dot add equals 1. It gives me false. So when you say equals, it verifies whether the elements in the list are same or not. At the same time, it is going to verify whether the order of the elements is same or not. If the order of the elements is also same, then only it is going to return true. So let me run this and show the execution part. So what I'm doing here, I'm going to give you 20. Dot. Now elements are same, but their order is not same. I'm trying to display the values. So what happened again? False. Similarly, we have the next method here. Size is empty. Let us quickly check out the remaining methods here. This will return true. The list is empty. Taken is equal to list of. Now here I'm taking is dot. So we are going to get yes, it's an empty. So I'm going to say is dot add. And we are going to say b2 equal to is dot is empty. This there are some elements here, right? Similarly, we have next one is size. This will return number of elements in the list. When I say size, this will return number of elements in the list. So let me quickly take a list of integer ages equal to new list of what we have here is dot add, and here what I'm going to get here, it will be integer count equal to ages dot size. When you say ages dot size, how many elements are here? So here we have 3 elements in the list. 1, 3, 10, 20, 30. This is size, it's going to give me number of elements in the list. Hope I'm clear with this. Any queries at this level? Right. Next we have clear. This will remove all the elements from the list. When you say clear, it will remove all the elements from the list. So let me take the same above set here, whatever we have. When I say ages dot clear, what happened? It removes all the elements. We have only empty set. There are no more elements. All the elements are deleted. Now once I say is clear, when I say clear, I can say boolean b equal to is empty. Yes, of course it is empty, as none of the elements are there in the list. It will be true. Right? So it is empty, clear, and size. Similarly, we have other methods here. Iterator. It will create a cursor over the list. Iterator, it create a cursor over the list, keeps moving the cursor till the end. Let us say it is in the form of list of. When you created this format, so what we have here? 10, 20, then 20, 30. This is how we created, right? So when I say, okay, what is the format of the data? Integer equal to ages dot. When you create this, what it does actually is it will create a cursor for your data. If this is the data, so what is the value of IT now? What is the value of IT? It is not 10. If I have given at the starting position, it's 10. It is not 10. Let us keep. It is null. Initially, it doesn't have any data with it. It creates a cursor. What is the value of my cursor now? When I give IT dot as, does it have an next element? Yes, 10 is there. So it gives. What is the next element? When you say next, it is going to return the next element. Next element is 10. It checks whether it has next element. If it is available, true. It is not going to the next element. It is only checking whether it has next element. Yes, next element is there. Then what it told? Then it has told IT dot next. When you say IT dot next, when I say IT dot next, what happens here? Moves the cursor to the next position. Now where is my cursor now? Cursor is here. Again, next one we have IT dot as next. It has a next element. Yes, true. What happened? IT dot. It's IT dot next. It moves the cursor to the next position. So like this, it starts from the beginning, keeps moving till the end. It's just like a loop. It's just like a loop. What happened now? My IT has moved to next. What is IT dot next? Did you get my point? So like that, it goes to the. Okay, you keep moving. Okay. This is called iterator. Generally, if you are writing a for loop, by default, it is predefined function. Nothing you have to do. It is a predefined function. Then, last function for the day, we have clone. So, what is this clone? Clone. We have taken list of is dot add, then is dot add 20. Right. So this is how we created. This is how we created. when I created in this format, what is this? It is ages. The ages we have this. Now what I have done, I made this format. List of integer 1 equal to ages dot clone. When I said ages dot clone, create one more copy with the exact values of ages and give a name called 1. So does this have any connection to this? Both the locations are different. With exact values, what we have in the ages, create one more copy. Create one more copy. Suppose after creating the copy, I told ages dot add 50. When I told ages dot add 50, then what happened? Only in the ages 50 will be added. So the changes that are done in the ages will not reflect back to 1. Similarly, changes that we have done in 1, I'm saying 1 dot add, we say 1 dot add 80, the one we have only 1, 10, 20, 30, right? So the 50 what we added in the ages, it is not reflecting back here. Is not reflecting back here. Clone means it is creating one more copy of what we have. So the changes what are done on the copy will not reflect back. Changes what are done on my copy will not go to that copy again. So this is what we have. So these are the methods what we have on the list classes. So once you understand these methods clearly, we can go with the scenarios of implementing some a basic level of scenarios. So try to understand the methods what I have given here. Go through the methods. What are the methods I have given? Try to check the snippet codes. Try to execute them. Try with the different data types. Then we'll have an understanding about how the list will be created and what are the operations we can perform. Right. Then one quick method we have missed out actually. So let me complete that method also. We have one quick method. Which is called sort. When I say sort, this will sort the elements in the list in the ascending order. Let me give you list of integer ages equal to list of and 10, 90, 40. So this is what we have done. When I say ages dot, when I say ages, so in the ages how the elements are now? Elements are in the pod on the form of 10, 90, 40. This is the order in which elements are stored. So when I say ages dot sort, the elements in the list are sorted in the ascending order. So we are going to have 30, 40, right? Sort. This will sort the elements in the ascending order. So these are the methods defined in the list class. Any queries?